back to the Gamecocks football captain's log. As always, I'm your host, Brandon Silvers, and I'm joined by the captain himself from Morris Island Charters, Captain Petey. Captain Petey, how are you doing?
Doing all right.
All right. I know we're both fighting through various ailments, but we will do our best today. Speaking of that, Oklahoma game, and you probably hear it in my voice, I'm dealing with a sinus thing. It started up Friday night. I'm watching the game Saturday afternoon. Roughly 5 minutes into the game, I was very concerned that I had taken too much Mucinex and was hallucinating because it looked like we were up 21-0 and had forced 3 turnovers and scored 2 touchdowns as a result of those turnovers.
Yeah.
Did this really happen?
It really happened.
Oh, shit.
It's usually this kind of thing happens to us versus the other way around. And I think it was at one point Oklahoma had run 5 plays and giving up and was down 21-0.
Yeah, it was not ideal, I guess.
Yeah, it was. I think it was bad play calling on their part, and obviously post game they fired their OC, so there was clearly some issues going into that. I think the idea for them to call long developing plays right off the bat to start the game against our front seven was a really bad idea, especially our defensive ends, because obviously Hawkins just got hit immediately and threw a pick. On the next drive, I think that's the one where he gets a sack fumble.
Yep.
And Tonka picks it up and takes it in. And then on the following drive, it's another interception to Imanwari. Yeah, they had trouble stopping our defensive ends. It really basically our front four.
How do you feel about us being the team where if you do poorly against us, someone's losing their job?
I mean, that's kind of always been the case.
Yeah. It's like, okay, we'll let this happen against Texas, but South Carolina, no.
We got a little bit of Vandy in us, where, as far as like if you get blown out by us, there's a problem and somebody's getting fired. Yeah,
and you're right. They did Hawkins no favors because he's young quarterback.
Yeah.
And they just kind of hung him out to dry. I've damn near done a full 180 on Clayton White because the defense looks incredible.
Well, look, when you have guys that are getting to the ball, but you have a very strong, defensive line, that will cover up a lot of deficiencies. Yeah. And we haven't had a very strong defensive line in a long time. And I mean, if you are out there immediately in the backfield on every play, you're going to make somebody look like a genius.
It's like we looked at it last year happening to us, and we were like, wait a second, what if we do that to other teams? Could that work? And it does. What do you know? Well, yeah, Kennard and Stewart, they're ridiculous.
Yeah, when your defensive line is just immediately in the backfield and causing havoc on every play, who gives a shit what the other 7 guys on the defense are doing?
Yeah.
It's not going to matter.
If even our DBs can cover for 3 seconds.
Yeah.
So.
And that first pick that Imanwari got, that receiver was open.
Yeah.
Hawkins was under duress, had to step up into the pocket, and then threw it too late. And by that time, Imanwari caught up to it. And then the same thing happened. I think the second one might have been like tipped or something because it was or deflected maybe a little bit. I don't remember exactly. But shit, when you give up 9 sacks in a game.
Yeah, I was looking. They fumbled 6 times.
Yes.
Like, yes. What was going on there? Like Oklahoma. Nice to see you again, Brett Venables.
Yeah, and they got 4 of them back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish we were a little bit better about that because that could have helped us during the Bama game too. But yeah, I don't even know what to do about the defense because I'm so out of practice in complimenting our defensive play. And again, I'm a little worried that we're going to turn back into a pumpkin.
Yeah, it's like we show up in these certain moments, but we disappear in the other. Like against Ole Miss, where were we?
Yeah. What was that? So I don't know. I will continue to compliment Clayton White for turning things around, and obviously it's fun seeing guys just get lit up, seeing opposing quarterbacks get lit up for once. I do enjoy that. But
he gave us some sacks too, though.
Yeah, so that was
strong defense. I mean, they have a really good defensive front, but it's not like Sellers was back there on easy peasy day.
So that was the confusing part, because I was trying to be happy, and I was in the right mind state with all of the Guaya finessing, but the offense still can't get anything going.
No, I mean, Oklahoma actually outgained us by 40 or 50 yards on the day, which obviously we were, they spotted us 21 points. So we were being conservative, but still, I mean, we had some moments there where the defense didn't look awesome. Like the third quarter didn't look great, especially covering downfield. We gave up some big plays. There was one play, I don't know what Kilgore was doing, but he just kind of did this in front of the player, and the player just ran right by. So it was an unimpressive offensive outing.
Yeah, they beat us in the second half 6-3.
Yeah,
which is about
the only other than the first possession after the interception, the only other touchdown we had was where they just really whiffed on Josh Simon. He just walked into the end zone.
Yes. Yeah. And that was I don't know. Once they settled down, they put in Jackson Arnold.
Yeah.
It was a much closer game. I do blame Dowell Loggins. What do you think about how we handle special teams and trick plays? Because we dealt with this again, didn't we?
Yeah, it seems like we're doing these trick plays when it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Why are we doing? We were up 32-3, about to go into half and run a fake field goal. I mean, I don't understand the point.
Very confusing. And wasn't there a 2-point conversion too?
Yeah. After Simon, I think it was after Simon got the touchdown because we were on that end of the field. We just did a direct snap to Brown, and he ran it in, and he almost got stopped. But why? Why are we doing it?
I don't understand, because the way things are lining up, we're probably going to need some of this infamous Beamer ball stuff.
Yeah, and now we're showing
some upsets.
At this point.
We did against Akron.
Right. And we won that game by 50-something.
Yeah. I just don't understand. It feels like a guy who is trying to prove that he knows football and he's smart.
Yeah, but you got to do it when it's appropriate. And also, a good time to do it is after in a tight game when the defense is overconfident and they just made a stop on third down and they think that you have to punt it and they're going to get their offense back, so they're not expecting it. That's when you do it.
Yeah.
Not on your own 50-yard line and when you're up by 28 points.
It was confusing to me too, because you talked about how conservative we were on offense, but then we're doing stuff like this, and it just doesn't make sense. Much rather, I would have preferred it if we were just more aggressive on offense and just save the trick plays.
Yeah.
That would have made way more sense.
Yeah.
Because
you probably don't end up with, when you do trick plays, there's a lot more chance of things fucking up and bad things happening to you.
Yeah. Then, letting Lenoris throw the ball down the field or doing anything. We just couldn't get the running game going at all. No. Rocket had 33 yards. It was just not good.
And, Sellers was under duress. He had a couple sacks he slept out of, and then ended up getting sacked later. But I don't know. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but he probably had more rushing yards this game than he has probably since LSU.
He had 28 rushing yards, but they factor in the sacks with the quarterback totals there.
Right. Yeah.
And he was sacked 6 times. So,
yeah, that's not awesome. 6 times.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
So a lot of question marks. That's why I don't know, other than the fact that it's Shane Beamer, why a move hasn't been made with the offensive coordinator. Because we do have a good enough defense to make a bowl game, probably.
Yeah.
But we're not going to do it this way.
Yeah. And I've seen some people, some figureheads putting us saying like we're a top 15 team, which seems insane to me.
In the SEC.
Yeah, just because we kept it close with Alabama and LSU.
And we see how Bama looks.
I think we're really good, but they haven't seen our offense in action. I mean, we do have a great defense, but our offense is so, not composed. They're good one day and they're bad the other. I don't know what to tell you. There's no consistency there.
No, it feels like we're just reliving the Satterfield days.
Although the Satterfield, we didn't figure it out. I mean, we just exploded after week 8.
Yeah.
Couldn't figure anything out before that.
Yeah, so I don't know. Disappointing because I did not believe this before the season, but I do think our defense is good enough to win some games. And it was like this game, they were finally like, well, damn, like those guys on the other side of the ball aren't going to score points, so we're going to go ahead and score points here. And that was essentially the difference in the ball game.
Yeah.
But you hate to put that kind of pressure on your defense because what are the odds they're going to score 2 touchdowns every game moving forward?
Right. I mean, I give them 3 touchdowns basically because that first drive was off the turnover. Even though it was, I don't know how many plays, like 5-6 plays to score, but still, you're throwing a defense that's in there coming off the bench cold, not ready to go in. They thought they'd be on the sideline for a minute, but obviously that's not going to happen every game. If if our defense scores 21 points in the first 5 minutes of a game, then maybe we got a chance to beat everybody we play. But I don't see that happening every game.
Are we Iowa? Are we Iowa of the South?
Ooh. Iowa of last year?
Yeah.
Iowa seems to have figured out offense this year.
Incredible.
Our defense is definitely not as good as Iowa was last year.
Yeah, but I do think our offense is slightly better than Iowa's was last year.
True.
Because that was pathetic what they were doing.
Yeah, we're probably trending in that direction.
I'm excited. I'm excited to be the team that everyone is making fun of and making memes about in college football because we just can't figure out how to play football in the 21st century on the offensive side of the ball. Yeah, it's great. So, what else? Anything else from that game that we didn't cover?
Sellers is still kind of overthrowing people a little bit. That's
Yeah.
just what he does. We're going to have to get used to that, I guess. The defense has gotten really strong on the twist plays. The defensive line. It seemed like every time they ran a twist play, they were getting a sack or they were in Arnold or Hawkins's face. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to gauge this performance. It's an anomaly. It's not the status quo.
Yeah, because like you said, are we going to score 3 touchdowns defensively to start the game every week? No, of course not. That's silly. So it's a huge what if, but I would be curious to see how that game would have gone if that hadn't happened. But we don't have to, thank God, because I don't think it would have worked out quite as well. It would have just been a snooze fest of a game. It would have been like 14-10, and we all would have just run out in traffic. It would have been terrible to watch.
And I mean, Oklahoma Oklahoma's offense is absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
For one, I mean they're ranked in the hundreds in almost every category.
Yeah.
So you can't put any kind of emphasis on this one game saying, "Oh my God, who is his team that came out of nowhere and just destroyed Oklahoma?" This is not
Oklahoma.
This is not the Oklahoma you're thinking of.
I tell you what, when I tell this story 10 years from now, Oklahoma was going to be they might have been competing for the national championship preseason, and we went into Oklahoma and we crushed them.
Yeah,
it was great, but it's too soon to start lying yet. I can't do that now, but I will.
It's still too recent history.
Yeah. So more good news this week. We don't play anybody, so that's a guaranteed undefeated weekend.
Yep.
When was the last time we had 2 bye weeks? I know we were texting about this.
I can't remember that happening. Only thing similar to that is like when we used to start the season out on a Thursday. So it would have like, a 10-day week until the next. So we kind of have a bye week, but I can't remember the last time we had 2 bye weeks.
Yeah. So I'm a little nervous because the last time we had a bye week, we came out against Ole Miss and looked terrible. And we do have the A&M game that we will be at.
Yep.
So we'll preview that one next week. So hopefully we figured out whatever we did that bye week, we never do it again.
Also, we get more time to figure out if A&M is any good.
Yes. So what should the people do since they don't have to watch Gamecock football this week? I say have to like it's a prison sentence.
I mean, for us it is. But,
yes.
Enjoy your week off. I mean, there's no stress. You can go out in the boat. You can go take a walk. You can give your liver a break.
Yeah. It's nice, beautiful fall weather. It's tried to kill me a little bit with my sinuses, but I'm on the way back. I will be okay.
Yeah.
Go get a boat tour if you're in the Low Country with Captain Petey. I highly recommend it. But yeah, enjoy back-to-back undefeated Gamecock football weeks. That's all there is to it.
Yep.
So, I mean, we will keep it short and sweet this week. And we'll catch y'all next week to talk about Texas A&M and their fun fan base.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see y'all later.
Bye.